There we go. I was like, I lost you guys. I don't hear you anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't hear Megan.
Yeah, Megan, you lost sound.
We lost you, Megan.
We did. I was like, oh no, I've lost it again. But I'm like, no, I hear one. I hear somebody.
Hold on, I'm going to share this in the event to let everyone know that we're live while we're getting started. Hi, everyone. If you're just coming on.
Hi.
Jump on and say hi when you're here. If you click allow for StreamYard, then we'll be able to see your name, comment.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
You're back.
I don't know what happened. I literally touched nothing. So
I know.
it wouldn't be the blue bookmark chat if we didn't have some form
I know.
of technical difficulties.
I know. One day we'll get
Always
it
something.
straightened out. We were so close. I came early to fix my issue, and it still did something.
Yeah, there's always something. But
There's always something.
right.
But we're relatively on time today,
Hi,
so we're good.
Yeah, only 2 minutes.
Only 2 minutes. We're good.
Yeah, we're doing good tonight.
We should start putting like 9-ish.
Yeah. Like join us
A little
at,
after.
quarter.
At 9-ish.
Yeah.
A little wiggle room.
How's everybody doing? Thanks for coming on, everyone.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
Great to
hi.
see everybody.
My mom bought it
Your
for me.
first
I don't
event.
buy a lot of clothes, but she makes sure I stay somewhat fashionable.
Yeah, it's cute. And your new hair looks so good.
Yeah, it looks great, Megan.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I sat down and I was like, I don't care how much you have to cut off. Just cut off as much as you have to. And so this side comes like all the way up to here, but it feels a lot healthier.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to chop it all off.
You know, you got to. Yeah, you got to.
Hi, Stasha. Hi, Rachel.
I'm loving seeing all these
looking-
first timers.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, everybody. We're so excited to talk about this book. I think we should start off like we always do. We always start off with star ratings. So 1 to 5 stars. How did you guys like it?
Yeah. I gave it a solid 5. It surprised me.
It was good. Like I said, I gave it a 4.
I give it a 4 too. Oh, my our cameras are backwards. So I never get
Where's
used to that.
Yeah.
Where's my hand?
I know.
Yeah.
Where's my hand?
4 stars.
4 stars. But I really liked it. It took a little bit to get into it, but once you got into the story, it was really good.
I'm seeing lots of 5s, 4s, 3s.
Oh, I can't see.
I gotta look on my phone to see who's saying what.
Yeah, I just made a comment in the chat to make sure all those people can click the StreamYard so we can see your name. Now, I think I've mentioned it quite a few times that dual timelines in historical fiction is like my favorite trope. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I do too. Although in this case, I did like Nella and Eliza better than Caroline and her husband's story. But I did think it weaved well between the two.
So I think I was more interested in their story because of the research she was finding. It brought it to present day for me to be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So
yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking at how the writer is like, this is what she does. Like, she does historical research. She's in academia in some capacity. I don't know what her exact role was, but I thought that was interesting as she's kind of applying what she does. I thought the dual time worked well. I mean, it's just a little bit I'm a little burned out on that style from thrillers, but I don't think I haven't read a lot of historical fictions with the past and present timeline. So that made it kind of feel fresh for me, and I liked it.
Yeah. I don't think I could ever get burnt out on that trope. I love it.
Me too.
Yeah. Audra, I liked that more than Nella and Eliza's story. I liked Caroline's present the most.
Yeah, me too. I liked her. I don't know. I liked them all actually. Like I found them all engaging in a different way, and like Eliza and Nella's being in the same point in the same time period. I liked seeing their different points of view.
Yeah.
I think the past one was a little more suspense for like what's going to happen.
Yes.
You know, are the constables going to get them, or they're going to be hanged? But I think that's why I was more drawn to Nella and Eliza and the murders. But like I said, they weave together really great. So Caroline's husband just really annoyed me.
God, he gaslighted the crap out of
know.
her.
Oh yeah.
Like, I highlighted a couple of passages that I was like, I got to remember we're not in Dirty Book Club tonight, so if I let a bad word slip, I'm sorry. But but he frustrated me so bad. And I'm so glad that she realized what she was doing or what he was doing and didn't just go back to him so the story wrapped up in a bow.
Oh yeah, that would have taken me off if she went back with him.
Yeah, he was a perfect villain. He was just a really well-written villain, you know. Like, I mean, for a historic, like, and you hated him, and you hated him for Caroline, and I think that's not always easy to pull off, where you just like feel the anger of like the person who's experiencing it. Yeah, he sucks.
I do feel like a lot of men act like that, though.
We've all met those kind of jokes before.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, the other day I was like, I wish that she would poison, and then I hadn't gotten to that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, come on.
Yeah, did he deserve to be poisoned though? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that anyone in the book deserved to be poisoned?
Well, no.
Well,
I'm not sure if murder is ever the answer, but back then they had very little recourse as a woman. They couldn't divorce their husbands and could live alone, and you know, like it is now. Not that you ever condone murder, but it's kind of more understandable. But
like I was just about to say the same thing.
And it's fiction too, so.
And it's fiction, exactly.
Yeah. In my books, is murder acceptable? Absolutely. In real life, does he deserve to be murdered? No, probably not.
Right.
But it's sad. I highlighted this. And while my story is terrible, every woman has faced a man's wickedness to some degree, even you. And so back then, nobody would have done anything for a servant girl. He's her master.
Right. Yes.
And it's sad. I mean, even to this day, though, every woman in some way, shape, or form has experienced something. And it's sad. And so I liked her take on it. She will not hurt another woman because she's like their advocate, I guess.
Yeah.
And trying to help.
Yeah, I think that's how she got started. Like she was really hurt, and then she helped others. It kind of spread. Her services were needed by lots of women back then.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of thought I liked it.
Yeah.
Poison.
I know. Let's poison them.
Just poison.
Just put a little poison in their coke, in their food. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Tess, I agree. I was hoping that some way there was going to be some, I mean, as far-fetched as that is that she's from Ohio and she's related to these people, but it would have been really neat to have some far-fetched connection. Or like the girl at the library might have been.
Yeah, like
I don't know. Yeah. I like
Yeah,
how when the dual timelines tie together.
Yeah, I did too.
I like
I
that
think they
too.
did it really well.
And I thought it was cool that she found that vial. Like, I thought that the way that they tied it together was really interesting. Just kind of like an unusual way, and that led her on this mystery kind of just research path. I really like that. Yeah, I feel bad for anybody who got poisoned, honestly, but I don't know. Yeah, she was trying to protect them.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Tessa. So interesting that you said that, because I also wanted to ask you guys, what did you think about, was there magic in this story? Like, what do you think about it being marketed as fantasy or even magical realism? To me, it just seems like a straight up historical fiction.
Yes. There was zero fantasy to me. I could see a very small sliver of magical realism for the spells that Eliza did at the end to keep her alive.
Yeah, just to save her. That was the only fantasy part.
Yeah.
And
there was
no
fantasy.
And at the end, she really did see, the ghost at the end.
Right. And I would almost put it light, maybe like suspense, or because I wouldn't do it as a thriller, but there's some mystery, so we could say it was a historical mystery, but no fantasy.
No fantasy.
Yeah, I thought the only part that seemed magical to me was at the ending where Eliza actually lived, and she thinks it was because of the poison, but that was really unverified. Right? Like, we don't know if she just survived the fall or if she survived the fall because of the concoction that she made. And then also there were the whole did they see ghosts or not? But it wasn't ever sure. So that kind of just made me feel like getting kind of it's possible that they did see ghosts. It was more fantasy, but so maybe just kind of getting swept up in the story of it all.
Yeah. I did have one question and maybe I just missed a part, so I'd like for y'all to help me out. When she went to Tom's shop the first time and he was telling her about how he was like the 9th, or I don't remember the exact number, of his mother's children, and she died like the next week, and there's some form of give and take, like he lived and she died, she sacrificed for him. Okay, so then at the very end when he died, Eliza was only 22 years old when her husband died. So what do we think happened to him? They said it was something with his heart, but that's what they kept saying was wrong with all these other men that got poisoned. It's their heart. Do you think there was he paid the price for some spell, or do you think he ended up doing something that Eliza poisoned him? Or I felt like that was a little bit, she didn't wrap that up, or maybe it's just making us wonder. I don't know. Did I miss something?
That was right at the end, right?
At the very, very end.
When Caroline had found out Eliza's story that it wasn't the apothecary who died, it did mention. I got
the news article.
I got the impression that Eliza killed him, but she doesn't verify. But because of all the other murdered husbands, I was thinking that he must have did something to tick her off and gone. But
it was
I guess it's. I know it's but that's the impression I got, is she killed him. But I
think that would make the most sense. I have to reread that part because I'm not sure, but I definitely think it would make sense if she did, because that would go with the theme of the book.
It's on 297. So I don't know. I don't know if I missed something, but
everyone else got that impression too.
We're supposed to guess. I don't know. I think we're
a
supposed
lot
to
of
wonder.
people think she poisoned him.
Yeah. Eliza knew more
maybe
than
we're just
she
supposed to not
on.
know. I liked Eliza. She was a cool character, being so young and so strong-willed.
I think Nella had ended up having cancer, maybe in her bones or something. I think she had cancer, though, of something.
And she thought it was because of all the poisons that she had made, right?
I think she legitimately just
that
had
it
cancer.
was sucking. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true. He
I've
could
got
have
some
just had
of
health
these.
issues from being a sick baby.
That's
Yeah.
true. But I don't know. I guess because of what happened to the other husband, and it was like an untimely death. She was, you know, I just.
Well, but
you know,
I mean, yeah, arthritis, but like she was doing like coughing up blood and stuff, and arthritis isn't. I don't think is going to make you do stuff like that.
No.
No, Nella. Well, Rachel, that's a good point. Because in that article, it said I saved somebody's life, and she still counsels me to this day, and that was 10 years later. So
yeah, like.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
wondered
she
about
didn't
that
die.
too. I was kind of wondering that too. Like, I didn't think about it at the time, but then I started thinking, like, could she have poisoned herself? Like, I started thinking about, like, you know, like the Mad Hatters and stuff, like how the mercury would poison people, and like people didn't know at the time what was poisonous and really wasn't, and time exposure would kill them. And I kind of wondered if maybe something like that, or oh, maybe Eliza sees those ghosts. Yeah.
And she just hangs out with her. She lives at her house. Because why would she never go back to her shop? There was never another entry. So, I mean, if she lived, you would assume she would have at least gone and got her stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny though that how like your expectations based on what book of the month or like whatever calls it, right? Like fantasy. So I was definitely expecting more of the like magic lessons, like practical magic style, like that type of fantasy. So when it was straight up poisons, I was like, oh, but like, I don't know. It's just interesting how you go in with certain expectations, but I actually didn't mind. It wasn't. I don't know. I thought the poison was kind of cooler and more unique in a way.
Oh yeah, I was thinking going in it was going to be witches too. I don't know why. You know, some kind of magical element to it.
Oh, Jill, that's a good point. Jill was saying that because she's in an enclosed room, like all the fumes from the things that she's concocting.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh wait, I thought she did go back. She went and wrote the letter to Eliza's mistress.
She thought she was getting ready to die then.
Yeah. But she had already wrote Eliza's final, Eliza's final entry in the book. And then she went to tell Eliza's employer that Eliza had died and give her something to help with that.
Right.
And then
she saw her.
Because she thought she was going to die. And then she saw Eliza.
Yeah. So did she die?
We're on
did
YouTube.
She live? We don't know.
We don't know. I think my guess was she died. Because you're right. She never went back to the shop. But you're right. But Eliza does say that she's still.
I think this was an excellent debut, though. I mean, I think it was really strong writing for a freshman book.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what she comes out with next. Like, there were some parts of it that did feel like a debut to me, but not necessarily a bad way. But I'm interested to see where she goes as a writer. Maybe when she got to Eliza's house and was away from the maybe.
Oh, like her body healed. That Eliza had made those potions. And didn't she drink one at the end? Like, I literally finished this book 3 hours ago. How do I not?
Yeah. Yeah. Eliza drank one before she jumped.
And that kept her alive.
And that's what maybe kept her alive. So,
what did you think about the whole thing with Lord, what was his name? Lord Claren being the victim by accident about the poison, and then who was it? Maid like took an impression. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, I didn't like. I mean, the person who wrote it is a historian, so I'm going to assume that this is historically accurate. But it was like how people made copies or took pictures before that. You know,
yeah,
to
like
make
that whole scene. that could have been a whole another book. Like there was a lot of interesting things going on in there.
Did you think that was realistic? Where that she made the impression of the wax impression of the vial and like turned it over to police?
Probably. I mean, if she
nose?
thought,
Yeah.
she thought there was some murder going on.
She did.
You know, I kind of
dying.
thought that too. It says Facebook user, so I don't know who said this when they said, I felt like the Lord died instead of the woman was kind of magical, kind of like there was some form of protection, that only the men can die from these potions and not actually harm a woman. I kind of thought that for a second too.
Oh, that's interesting. Like, because she said she could never harm a woman, and that poison was supposed to harm a woman, and it ended up killing the man anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then that was what brought them all down, was because the woman she wasn't paying attention and all of that.
Mm-hmm. The historical value was lost by which part? I'm not sure who said that. Let me see. That was... Sure, it says Facebook.
Yeah, Audra, I agree. There's more as we're just talking about it that is like, oh, well, yeah, I guess that's not really a coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys think that Lord Clarence deserved to die in place of the mistress? Like, or do you think would you have preferred, I guess?
I mean,
like, who do you think, if one of them is going to be poisoned, like, which one do you think deserved it?
Is she his underage cousin? Like, that's my only... Like, if he's just cheating on his wife...
That's what I thought was happening. I thought he was just cheating on his wife with his cousin.
Yeah.
Is she his first cousin? Because that's kind of weird. But, I mean, other than that, no. Neither no.
I missed that it was a cousin, but yeah.
And then she come out and was like, he was like a daddy to me. Well,
I know, like, okay, that's creepy. That was creepy. But once again, in that age, the mistress would have had very little.
Right.
She would not have been the one to start anything up with him.
Yeah. Tessa, unfortunately, it was still pretty normal in Kentucky not that long ago, too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, she's saying that was normal back then. Oh, with the cousins. I wasn't sure.
Listen, I personally know people who were married to their first cousins. So, I mean.
Yes. And you can find tons of that in history.
And it's, yeah.
And didn't they marry a lot in their bloodline to keep the royals?
Yeah.
The lords
definitely.
And ladies and all that, so.
I don't know, I thought it messed up that she wanted to poison the mistress instead of, like, I mean, it's her husband that it has the commitment to her, right? Like, I mean, they're both in the wrong, but, like, to poison the mistress, I don't know. I just thought that was, like, it ended up being kind of like, yeah, maybe there was something magical about that to protect her.
It could be.
Your husband.
I agree. Lady Clarence was, she was a Karen, you know? Like, if, you know, I want to speak to the manager. You did this wrong.
Oh, yeah.
How dare you blame this on me?
How dare you?
It's your fault. Yeah.
How dare you
should
turn
have been the one to
down?
drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she couldn't have a baby if her husband was dead. That's very true.
Yes, that's what she wanted.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah.
She didn't really love him. She just wanted his kid.
She wanted the baby.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, go hire your stable boy. My goodness. Just get it
done.
You don't have to kill him. Yeah, they didn't test that.
They couldn't test that. It could be anybody's baby.
Now I'm thinking about Outlawed. You guys read Outlawed, right? Mm-hmm. Where they like hire someone to impregnate her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, if your husband couldn't do it, then you source out.
Source it out.
Source.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tessa. I don't know.
Well, she was mad because she thought he was using all of the good ones on the mistress, and there wasn't anything left for her.
Yeah. Like, that's not how that
what the
was.
book said.
It is.
This is turning
I'm
into
not trying to
dirty
be
book club
funny. That's really what she said.
That's what she said. Like, all the goods is going. I'm like, that's not how that works. But all right.
That's funny.
But yeah, but I'm sure she is that royal. I mean, you know that he was lord, so he was titled, so she wanted his blood, his baby. She wouldn't want to go out because some people feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that did bother me, Katie. That bothered to tell Eliza, like, yeah, it seems like that was kind of glossed over and no one really addressed it.
She thought she was being haunted, and she was really just turning into a woman.
Yeah, like you're gonna be haunted every month about this time.
Forever.
Yeah, Nella was just like, yep. It seemed like a weird. I'm not sure why the author decided to include all of that, like what that was about.
Yeah.
I was like, I've read enough about Eliza's period. Let's move on from this. Next, we got it.
Yeah. Would her mom really
I think Eliza was a lot smarter though than what she was portrayed. I think she had some darkness to her that I would love to have a sequel in Eliza's story.
Yes.
Because she inherits this bookshop and she's a witch. So I'd love to go into that. I think
she probably killed her husband.
Probably killed her husband.
If we got another book, we would find out.
Yep.
I think
Sarah, if you happen to see this, we want a sequel.
Want a sequel, yeah.
Like, I appreciated the shortness of it. Like, I do love a short book, like 300 pages exactly. I was like, oh, that's nice. I like things to be concise, but at the same time, I felt like some was like when I compare this book to like Magic Lessons, for example, which was closer to like 500 pages, I think. And you think about like all the richness of a story like that and all those details and like the history of these characters where you really get to know them on that next level. I felt like this book could have benefited from a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Like, because they're really cool characters and I just felt like I wanted to get to know them a little bit deeper.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah,
maybe there's a setup.
That would be awesome. I would read that.
I would read it.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So I've got a fun little Mad Libs for us.
I'm really bad at Mad Libs.
Whenever we do these book discussions, Book of the Month sends me book like discussion cards, and one of them this month is a Mad Libs. So I thought we could do it, and if you want to answer it. So it's really not really Mad Libs. It's like fill in the blank. If I could ask Nella and Eliza to make me a potion, it would have the power to blank, and I would give it to blank.
I could go literally a million different, like in good ways.
How dark
and
are you
bad
gonna
ways.
take this?
Right.
But hey, they really only knew how to kill. Right. We didn't get any other potions for
her.
Like, honestly, I know this is kind of sad, but like the first thing that popped into my mind was my best friend is going through, or she's one of my best friends, is going through a lot of fertility issues. And so like, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Give it to her to help her actually have a baby.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
There's nobody I can think of right now that I would want to truly hurt.
I don't have.
I mean, I think if I really
I don't know. I don't have any.
Yeah. Make people follow directions first time and give it to your kids. That's funny. So funny, Andrea. Clean, and I give it to my child. That's so funny. So should we talk about you're still married just for a second? Yeah. I think I missed a comment about the research.
I don't know. I think
they're still talking about the length of the book.
Yeah. I liked the marriage stuff, I think, because some of it felt a little personal, and what she was going through. Not my husband did not cheat on me. I'll say that he did not. Uh, but some of their issues and like being happy but unfulfilled and not,
Yeah.
being yourself. Like, I don't know. I think I just connected to that, so I really enjoyed her storyline.
Yeah. Because who hasn't lost themselves in a relationship? I mean, usually,
Right.
especially in the beginning, you're all about
Right.
being with them, and you kind of ignore everything else. So,
I mean, I got
and I
married
just,
at 23, or I had just turned 23, so I mean, there's a lot you don't get to do when that happens, and then you have kids. So I guess I kind of related to that, and I thought it was interesting the stuff that she was finding. So I liked her storyline. Yeah, he was such a jerk. And
Right.
who drinks
What a
eucalyptus
dingus.
oil?
I
Yeah.
know.
That's dumb.
I liked
And then he
Caroline's
got mad.
story too.
Yeah. And then he kind of got mad at her that it didn't work. Like,
That is
I
that
almost
is a
died and you're not.
classic
Like, you did it.
narcissist. That is a
Yes.
classic narcissist.
Absolutely.
And then he was mad that she didn't fall for his shit. It's
Yes.
classic narcissist.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
the fact that he
gaslighting.
did
He
it on
gaslighted her so bad
purpose. Mm-hmm.
because he thought it was
Yeah,
going
at
to
first
get
I was like,
pity.
oh, this guy's just an idiot. And then he did it on purpose to manipulate her. Like,
Hmm.
what
Even
an
back when
a-hole.
he couldn't just give her 10 weeks or 10 weeks. He couldn't just give her 10 days.
I know. Like, why would he come? She needs a
And like
moment.
all she needed was some space to think things through. And he had to be in the middle of it because it has to be about him. And then when they were trying to discuss it, well, she's the one who ripped up the application. She's the one who took the job at the farm. It was all her
It's all her.
decision, but that he pressured her into. So he totally gaslit her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
I think I would have liked to see more of their relationship like at the beginning. Like I think at the beginning, if we saw, I wanted to see Caroline more like in her life because there were parts when she was like I was so in love with him, and I'm just like, why though? Like he's like such a terrible person. Like I wanted to see more of them together when they actually were like in love, happy.
Right.
That before she found out, like if there was more buildup, I think I would have had a little bit more buy-in to their whole relationship. But instead, the whole time I was just like, this guy.
Yeah. And like when you don't have children either, like if he's treating you this way now and you haven't built your family yet, it's a lot harder to. But I don't think he was evil. I think he's just a man who is
self-absorbed.
That's all, man.
That's something we've dealt with in my marriage is trying to I don't want to like I don't know how to say that without making him sound awful because he's not. But a lot of men just don't understand that they're doing it until you're like, dude, you're trying to make me sound crazy and I'm not the crazy one.
Yeah.
So
I think like
I don't think he was
relationship. Evil. I think their relationship was so common, like for so many people, and like you lose yourself or you sacrifice. Yeah, it was so realistic. Like just to sacrifice what you want for your partner.
Yeah.
Oh, she thought she could pick her own top. Oh, yeah.
I've not been to grad school.
I was a grad student, but I didn't have to write a dissertation. Fortunately, somehow I got away with that. Yeah, I don't know. And get accepted in like a day. Yeah, that was kind of unrealistic.
Accepted. I don't.
Yeah,
think
she hadn't been accepted. She had applied.
She had just applied, and she's hoping she gets in.
Yeah.
He was a man.
A man, baby.
And honestly, most men are like that until they're.
More.
Especially though, I think maybe the younger generations aren't as bad, but the older men who are just very set in their ways and gender roles and all that, it's hard for them. to realize that they can't treat their women like that anymore. Because we ain't going to take it.
Yeah, I think he was like, took her for granted. He wanted it. He wanted her like for him rather than for her own person. And that was cool. Like her going on this trip by herself and finding what she wanted. And I liked that. Let's talk about the whole part where she gets not arrested, but kind of arrested for the poisoning.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's too perfect. But criminals are idiots, so.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm going to kill my husband. Let me list out ways to poison him, and then leave it right open for the paramedics and cops can see it. Yeah, but no good.
Yeah, I was worried she was like, that part I thought was really good. It was like super suspenseful. And I felt like I should have seen it coming. Oh, I did like make the comment that he should get poisoned, but I thought it was more like she was going to get, I don't know, I guess I just thought it was going to take a darker turn and like she was going to get inspired by Eliza and like plot to poison him, which would have been really cool. That would have been a good book too. But then I was like, I don't know. I guess I should have seen it coming that he was going to also get poisoned at some point for real.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, it felt like the graduate school thing was not realistic.
I wouldn't have any knowledge on that, so to me it worked because I don't know any different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought things were like moved a little bit quickly, but I don't know. I feel like in like every program that you like a person applies is me so different for what they like the requirements and everything. So I just assumed it was like, I mean, the author clearly has studied, right? Like she went through a program like that probably.
Well, yeah.
Meme where the FBI is going through someone's search history. Oh, yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, they did really mirror each other. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a little bit unrealistic when she was like, got her friend to come and vouch for her. That was the only part where I was like, the cops are going to be like, oh, my friend told me like it's cool. So like come and listen to her. I don't know. Megan, you probably have more understanding of that because your dad is a cop, right? So am I off base there?
I don't know. Like, I just don't think they had enough to really. I don't know. It kind of made sense, and he wasn't dead. So if he had died, they probably would have charged her with something.
Yeah, at least investigated more.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't have enough.
Yeah, and then he like and he vouched for her and said that she didn't do it, but
yeah.
Like, what did you? Oh my gosh, she replied to you. That's so nice.
That is cool.
On Twitter, that's so sweet.
Yeah, she is very nice.
Right, they didn't let her go until the husband said that she didn't do it.
Yeah, because they wanted to take her in, and then they're like, "Wait, let me call the librarian." And that I had been researching apothecary and drugs and all this stuff.
Like, oh yeah, she really is doing that. But then they still stayed right next to her until I tried to push my glasses up, and they're not on my face. That he did it. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Sure you have. Yeah. It was within minutes.
Cool.
That she responded to you.
She responded back really quick.
I don't know. If I was the librarian, I would kind of be like, why are you pulling me into the... And she kind of even mentioned that, like that.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, we were researching how to kill our husbands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think, though, in London, you still do have to have close the burden of proof and all that and probable cause. Yeah, I don't know how closely it is, but you still have to. Because I watched quite a few of the Like it's TV, but Amazon Prime. There's DCI Banks. I really like that one, and they still have to get warrants and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, like the essential oils to the apothecary drugs. Yeah, that's funny. I was watching this show though, like on Netflix called Unwell, and it was like this episode about all these people who are like addicted to essential oils and they get like crazy rashes all over their body. Like you totally can abuse essential oils and use them in a really dangerous way. So, I mean, obviously the using it in a normal way, like using or whatever isn't like that, but I mean, they definitely could have, like, I bet if you ingested it, that it would be super toxic.
But I think anything in large qualities will.
Oh, yeah.
It's not quality.
Like,
well,
before he's vomiting
could be
blood,
poisonous.
like, that's worth it to you?
Sarah?
Oh, I think that froze for me.
Oh, Megan froze. Yep, we lost you, Megan.
Can you guys still hear?
I hear you. You're still good.
Oh, okay. Hopefully Megan comes back.
Yeah, she'll have to.
Freezing.
Oh, I
we can hear you. So
Megan,
don't say anything. There you go. You're unfrozen, I think. No. You moved.
Oh,
there you
are.
are. Hi.
Yeah, we're back.
Yep.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I agree. Yeah. Oh,
we lost her.
No, we lost her.
Yeah, we lost her.
She'll be back.
She'll be back.
I think she did a great job too. Yeah, they were both big on women's empowerment, definitely. A perfect March read for Women's History Month, really.
Yes, true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you saw that? I know. I love essential oils too, but try to use them safe and not. I felt like that he was going to go so far as to, like, it's not like he had like a mild reaction. Like he ended up in the hospital. He's like throwing up blood. Just to manipulate her to get her to stay with him and feel bad for him.
I feel bad, yeah. Like, oh yeah, you're so sick. I forgot that you cheated on me.
Yeah. Do you think he meant to be that sick, or do you think that was just kind of like accident? Like he thought that he was getting a little bit sick.
I don't think he meant to get that sick. Because I said he didn't drink a lot of, he just took a little. Like if you take Dayquil, that's like you have to take the big. Yeah, it's helpful. But they were like, no, I just took a little, and he was like, it was like Dayquil. Like, okay, no.
The psycho. You're back, Megan. Missed
Megan.
you.
Oh, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you now. They were still working in the show. You were a little disappointed with the feminist element. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Like not actually empowered because they were still just kind of working in the shadows. Yeah, I do totally see that. I think Eliza and what was her name?
Noah.
Oh, I think they were doing the best that they can in the time period that they had. Yeah. Whereas I felt like Caroline, obviously, like in present day, I don't think she realized how like put down she was with the man that she was with. Yeah. And she was kind of trying to find her empowerment, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
You're back.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was true to the time. Yeah, just being reckless to get his way. Totally.
Yeah.
Tessa was saying how she hated the ending where she threw the vial back into the water. What did you guys think about that?
I wish she would have kept it.
I know. Especially if she was planning to write all this, paper and stuff on it for, grad school. It seemed a little weird that she would toss it away.
I didn't.
And why wouldn't she keep it as a memento, or she didn't have to share it, but at least she would have. And that kind of got her on the start of a new path, her finding this. So I thought it was weird that she would just toss it away like that.
Yeah, and it's like it's a historical artifact. Why don't you just throw it away? Like that's valuable.
I'm littering. Don't littering.
Yeah. Very melodramatic.
I
Totally.
know.
I don't know. I thought that part was like, it was a little like, what's the word? Like a little heavy-handed with the
Yeah.
symbolism. Oh, yeah. Don't get me
What
started on Titanic, Amy.
What did I miss when my computer went down? Because now I'm confused about the Titanic. What's going on?
Oh, no. Like how at the end of Titanic, how she throws the necklace into the water.
Oh, yeah.
That it's like that when she throws the vial at the end back into the water.
Buddy. Okay, now I get what y'all are saying. Like, what do you think you're mad
And
about the
Amy's saying that
Titanic?
she's just saying that she's mad about the Titanic ending. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people were mad. Are people talking about that, Tessa? You said a lot of people didn't like that. Are people talking about that other places? Oh yeah, and it was assumed she saw the ghost of Eliza and Nella. I don't know. I felt like that was so brushed over.
Yeah, like, oh, I saw two women and now they're not there. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what does it take that?
Yeah.
Oh, someone said they took a star away for that. Yeah.
Mm.
So initially I was like 5 stars because this isn't really, I don't know. I guess I don't ever read fantasy, and it really wasn't fantasy, but kind of now the more we're talking things through, I'm like, I don't know. Was it 5 stars? Or do I take a star away for some of these things that I'm like confused about now?
Yeah, I change my ratings all the time because sometimes I'm like first reaction, and then sometimes it sits with you, and sometimes you're still thinking about it, so you bump it up, and other times you're like, no, I'm gonna take it down because now I have questions, but usually your first
Really
instinct
want
is
more.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I think about things and I'll like have rated it really high initially and then I kind of like lower it later.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4 because I read like almost 200 pages in basically like one sitting. Like it was just such a fast read and like I really like that when a book just kind of like flows through. And I really like enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a debut, so it was great debut. But I just didn't feel like that passion for it. You know, like I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a really good story, but there's stories that just like get me super excited and jazzed up and I just didn't feel that like that feeling. But I liked it.
Yeah. That's what I made too. I gave it a 4, which means that I really liked it. I wanted to find out what happened. I wanted to keep reading, and I enjoyed what I read. It's not, I don't think it's going to be a book that stays,
So did you both pick this for, you think it's going to be nominated for Book of the Year? Or was that just you, Sarah? One of you did.
I think I did.
I picked Star-Crossed.
Susie, do you stand by that now? Do you still think it will be nominated, or do you, are you going to think about changing it?
I think it'll be nominated. I don't think it's going to win, but I think it could. I don't even know if it's going to end up in the top 5. It really depends on what they like come out with. Yeah. So far, there hasn't been. I mean, it's only March, right? So like, there's a lot of time. But so far, what do you guys think are the Book of the Year? What are predictions so far of what's come out this year?
Yeah, I think it could still be one of the 20. I mean, but you're right.
Do they do
we have to wait until the top 5.
Yeah.
Do what?
Was it November and December that we picked from?
Yes. Based on The Giver of Stars was a finalist this year, and it came out the November before the award. So I assume it's the same thing. That's why I picked Star-Crossed.
I agree with you, Mary. That's what I think will be nominated too so far of what we've read.
But yeah, those are the top 3 too.
Yeah, I think that Lost Apothecary will make it to the top 20, but I don't think it'll be top 5. I don't think it'll be an actual like finalist.
Have people really received the prophets very well? Because that sounds like something that
I think that may be too literary for maybe top 20, but I don't think it'll be, because most I'm trying to remember what the top 5 were last year, but it was mostly like the popular ones, like the guest list was on there, and Ancient people and I'm sorry, which
Addie.
one won?
There was the Vanishing
Let me
Half.
pull up LaRue.
Oh, the
What's that?
Vanishing Half one.
Vanishing Half one.
That's right.
Um,
I don't think the Prophets will have audience wide.
I don't think I'm gonna pick it up just because I don't think I would enjoy not the topic, but just the literary writing it's just hard for me to get through, and I have like 500 that I want to read, so it's why waste time on something isn't going to be a page turner for you. I think the topic sounds very, very interesting, and I would love to see it in a movie where I don't have to think that much.
Yeah.
But
I got the Prophets, but I haven't read it yet. And
I have it too, but I haven't.
Well, maybe
what, Sarah?
I got it too, but I haven't read it yet.
And I'll read it.
When I got it, I thought this for sure is gonna be a Book of the Year finalist. That's like why I got it. I just thought it sounded like really good, and then all the negative reviews have kind of scared me away, so I haven't opened it yet.
Like I said, it could be. Someone just said even Leave the World Behind was in the top 20, and so the Prophets could still be the top 20. It's just
I don't know how it's possible because not because of how bad it was, but just of how hated it was. Like
it was very polarizing.
Topics of Conversation also in the top 20. Like they're kind of like in terms of
people hate that book as much as they hated Topics of Conversation.
Yeah,
like that book is hated.
Yeah, hated.
Well, I think more people read Leave the World Behind than Topics of Conversation
because it was so hyped up.
Yeah. And didn't somebody pick it for a book club? Was it Jenna or GMA or I think it was a book club. I can't remember who. Maybe Jenna, but I'm not sure. But so I think more people read that one, and that book was you liked it or you hated it.
Mm-hmm.
There was no like it's fine.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard a lot about Prophets, and like I said, I haven't read it yet, so I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, let's see what else came out. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, it was a Jenna pick.
Jenna pick. I knew someone had picked it.
What about in a book club? What about in a book club far away? That one seems to be getting a lot of likes lately.
I haven't read it yet. Story of my life.
Yeah, I feel it. Story of my life.
And I don't know. Honey Girl really didn't get a lot of it. It just seems like people didn't really talk about that one. I still haven't read that. You didn't like it? I haven't read it yet. No, thumbs down.
Because the book, it's like she got married, she got drunk in Vegas, and she married this girl she didn't know, and it was so little about that. It was like it wasn't what I expected. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but.
I hate that when the synopsis doesn't match at all what the story is actually about.
I wanted more of that, how they met and how that happened, but it was very little of that book.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of her reaction of that she did this crazy thing, and then it set on this other path. But I'm like, but that was what the book. I thought it was going to be, more fun. I guess just wasn't what I expected.
Gotcha. Infinite Country seems to be getting a lot of love lately.
Yeah.
I
have
that. Kind of delayed, seems like.
From the library.
You have read it?
No, it's not from the library. I need to go pick it up. It's ready for me.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Did you like it, Sarah?
I liked it, yes. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
How did it compare to, in terms of plot, not which one was better, but when I read the description, it sounded very similar to American Dirt. You felt like they were similar at all?
Just that they were trying to get here in the U.S.
But other than that, not really.
Other than that,
Oh, it's really good. Oh, nice. Yeah, like Hate. I don't know who said that, but I was thinking that too. Like when we read Hate in DBC, we were all like, "What? This synopsis does not match what it's about, even a little bit." That was really annoying.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind. I was just gonna say I'm scrolling through Goodreads trying to find some exciting April ones to talk about, and I come across this Fugitive Telemetry by Martha Wells, and I was like, oh, that sounds very interesting, but it's 6th in a series. I don't see Book of the Month.
Oh yeah,
Oh no,
they
won't pick
shouldn't.
that.
Well, they've done it before with.
I know they picked number 3, and they picked.
That was.
I hate it. I hate it
I
when
know,
they
like,
do that.
don't do that. Don't do that.
I only like it when it was like with the Practical Magic series, how then they give us the other ones and I got a complete set. Like that made me really happy.
Yes.
Oh, you know what might be a Book of the Year finalist? The Wife Upstairs. That came out in December. People love that book.
Oh yeah, that could be. Because like I said, the guest list made top 5 last year.
That surprised me. I mean, I haven't read the
It
guest
was
list, but it surprised you too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I really
my
want to
audio
work for
cuts
Book
out.
of the Month and pick books. Like I really want to do that.
They're hiring, aren't they? They just post that thing. I don't know what they're looking for.
Definitely not anything that I can do.
Yeah. Like technical computers and like
stuff like that.
I know. I just want to be a professional reader.
Right.
Yeah, and you'd have to move to New
And
York.
that wasn't on there.
Tell people.
It doesn't look like they're hiring remote jobs at all. Like,
yeah, it seemed like you had to be in New York.
Yeah, there's a software engineer job, and I sent it to Rob, and it was like, well, we're not moving to New York, so there's no point in even applying. That would be such a cool job to work for Book of the Month.
Yes.
I think that April book coming out tomorrow. That's what I'm kind of feeling.
I'm hoping
tomorrow.
I think so too. I am so surprised that there are no spoilers anywhere on the internet. And this is the first time in my years of being with Book of the Month have I not had one single. I mean, I guess you could say the one book that we know already is going to be Jenna's pick. That's a spoiler.
That will be
a
pick or an add-on if they have add-ons this month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we know one, but
I just cannot believe it. There's not one.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure that there are people who work for Book of the Month in the book groups.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And every time we figure out spoilers, and the problem is that people post how they got their spoilers publicly in the group, so anybody can read that, and then they catch on, and they're like, okay, well, now we can't use that anymore, and then they try to find something else, but we'll get them. We'll figure it out again.
Jenna's pick. Megan, do you remember the title of Jenna's pick? Someone's asking in the comments.
Good Company.
Good Company.
And I've started it. I have an arc of it, and it's very interesting right out of the gate. Very marital issues, people being jerks, grown-ups being babies.
Like a family drama?
Here. A family drama, relationship drama, parenting drama, kind of like an all adults here. Did you read that one? Kind of a little bit of that vibe. Very just contemporary fiction.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like adults here.
Yeah, I definitely think I would like it. Right now, it's going to be either a 3 or 4. It will surprise the heck out of me if it's a 5. I don't think it will be, but I really think I will enjoy it.
Yeah, sometimes Jenna's picks are a little too literary. I want to be entertained when I read. I want the story to go, and you want to find out what happens. And sometimes
as much as I really like Jenna, I feel like because hers is so closely associated with the Today Show, how much do you think she truly gets to pick out the books? I feel like it's probably something that the Today Show producers work with publishers, because when she announces the books, everybody in the audience gets one, and I feel like it's
definitely
one. They might give her 10 options and she picks from those, but I don't really see Jenna being the one who's
no. She has time to read all these books. Like she probably is given a small selection. I think that's a really good thing.
Have internet, we listen, like the person asking how do we know, I find some, but a lot of it is sent to me from other people, but I literally troll the internet 12
Yeah.
hours a day looking for things.
Yeah.
Looking at
And
people's Instagrams, who's tagged in what, to try to figure this stuff out. But I think Jill might have told me about this one.
yeah. And sometimes it's easier for spoilers to come out for Jenna's pick and for Reese's pick because they put that sticker on the books and then they send them to publishers, and then employees are like, hey, guess what? Here's Jenna's book, here's GMA's book, here's Reese's book. But
because they
I find,
have to be on the shelf at a certain
yeah,
time.
on the day that she announces. Yeah, but they usually get them early. But I find like GMA's picks and Reese's picks, they diversify it up more. You know, like Reese will pick a thriller and she'll pick, you know, a love story, but Jenna always picks those very serious.
Yeah, and they're actually, I don't want to say they're friends, but they have a relationship, Jenna and Reese. So they might.
Oh yeah, they have. Yeah.
They might chat about books often. Of, hey, what are you picking? What are you picking?
That's interesting that Jenna picks, like, I haven't read a lot of Jenna picks, but that she always picks kind of like more serious books.
She does.
More
except
literary.
Except for the one with the kids on fire. She usually picks I can't think of the name of it. Maybe Nothing to See or
Nothing to See.
Okay. She did pick that one, and that was and she picked Black Buck, which I think may be
well,
more.
and also
Evie, I haven't read that one yet, but usually she picks a more serious book.
Romance.
What, Meg?
Evie Drake Starts Over. That was pretty romance.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, was that a Jenna pick or a Reese pick?
That was
that was Jenna. That was a terrible romance. I was so bored in that book.
Whoever asked how much is Reese involved, I could be totally wrong here, but I feel like Reese is very involved.
I do too, because she would talk about books before this club, and people were like, "Oh, you're reading," and it brought an audience to her, and then she started the club. But I think she was a big reader before this all happened.
I also think she really does truly pick mostly what she wants, because all of her books are by women and books that she wants to turn into a screen that she can get the rights for. So she's an extremely smart businesswoman. She's researching these manuscripts or whatever, and then hyping them up through her book club, buying the rights to them, and then turning them into a movie. And now people have heard about them because of her book club. So yeah, I think
I think
it's pretty genius.
It is pretty genius.
Yeah, she's
Bellatrix. So no, I haven't read that pick. What was it?
Yeah, I don't read that one, but Reese seems to read like I do, like a historical fiction, a mystery, a romance, a little bit of everything, which I like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Reese isn't tied to a show. Like Jenna has another job that she's doing every day, right? Like Reese's full-time job is doing production stuff,
acting, production,
acting, producing, and running her book. I mean, her book club has gotten so huge. She's probably spending a lot of her time running that.
I think the Today Show has a huge say in what Jenna's allowed to pick.
Oh, definitely.
I would think so.
I think it's good though to have like different types of book clubs for different types of readers. Like I like Jenna. I appreciate that she's picking like serious books, that she's using her platform for, you know, picking a lot of diverse authors. And it's Emma Roberts' book club. I've heard of it, but I haven't read any books. I need to check that out.
Yeah. Generally around the first of the month, I scroll through all the book clubs and see what they've picked to make sure I'm not sleeping on anything that I need to move to the top of my TBR.
Yeah. Well, I hope we get picks tomorrow.
Me too.
Knocking on wood. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Like, come on. It's almost the first. Let's have them.
I'm excited to see if Megan's predictions are correct.
I mean, those aren't necessarily the ones I want to be picks at all. They're just the ones I feel like Book of the Month has really tried to do a better job of having different voices. And I think that's wonderful, especially because a lot of those books, if you look at the Goodreads top 10 releases for April 2021, there's not a lot of color there at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you really had to dig deep to try to find some. And does that speak to the publishers? Does that,
Yeah.
what does that tell you? But I feel like Book of the Month has stepped up and trying to find some better titles to present to us, because somebody like me who just, like, I look at the top 20 Goodreads and I'm like, okay, what do I need to add? If they're not there, it's hard to search out. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. You're welcome, Rachel. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, bye, Rachel.
Bye, Rachel.
Oh, I haven't heard of the Arsonist City, Milk Bed, and Milk Blood Heat. I haven't heard any of those. Those are
I haven't heard of
Emma's
any of these books. Interesting.
I guess those are Emma's picks or Beltress.
Yeah, I think we need to read one of these. One of these days, we should read one of those. Read one of her picks, just to see what they're like.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a big reader, Emma.
Oh, they both picked Outlawed.
Well,
I liked Outlawed. I know a lot of people thought it was boring.
Did anybody else think Outlawed could have been both in the past and some weird way also an apocalyptic, like they're also 100 years in the future and things are just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of
people were saying, people were saying that it's like an alt timeline or like alt history, which I totally didn't get when I read it. Like when I read it, I just thought it was historical fiction, and I just assumed there were things that I hadn't learned about, like things I didn't know about. And then everyone's like, no, it's an alt timeline. And I was like, what? Like it didn't even occur to me. Oh, thanks for coming, Tammy.
Thanks. Bye, Tammy.
Yeah, this is quite fun for me because boys are at a babysitter, and this is just like hanging out with my girlfriends.
Yeah,
nice. Oh, definitely was because Amy, I looked it up, and there was a pandemic that happened around the same time.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe it was about that, but then everybody was like, no, it's only alt history. So I just like accepted that. But I thought it was confusing that like Book of the Month called it historical fiction, and there was no mention about it being an alt timeline, because I just like had no idea what I was getting into. I think I would have read it with a different lens if I had known that.
Yeah, apocalyptic books confuse the crap out of me, because it's like, why are we going back to the old days? Were we not all did everybody turn stupid? Somebody invented before, like, did we forget how that? Well, surely there's still some scientists left around. Like, why are we going back to, living like 100 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Other than like, I guess if something happened and all the like cell phone service and Wi-Fi was down, but still, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be the past, but it's just like a fictional. I mean, I guess what else do you call it other than historical fiction? But I just should have. I don't know why I just like completely missed that. I just felt like so stupid afterwards. Like,
do you think maybe instead of a historical fiction, there was some thread in our group earlier about what classifies historical fiction. Does it have to be a true event? What if instead of historical fiction for anything and everything in the past, what if we called it a timepiece fiction that goes back to a specific time instead of an event?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like was the Lost Apothecary historical fiction? I mean, it's kind of mixed.
I think set in the 1700s it would be because of the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it's a subcategory in me.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Well, that's like Daisy Jones. They marked that as historical fiction, even though it's takes place in the 70s. I'm like, is that really historical fiction?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't seem like, because I always think historical fiction, most of the time I think World War II, because a lot of historical fictions, or a lot of the ones I've read have been, but I'm like, I guess it's how long past if you do like, it's 80s now, historical fiction.
Yeah.
70s, because, Daisy Jones, they said that was historical fiction, and that was set in the 70s. Like, when does it, okay, it's 80s now? Is it any time past the decade you're in? I mean, I need to know the rules of this time historical fiction.
They play Nirvana on the classic rock station now, so, like...
Yeah. Or like the classic TV on Nickelodeon, and you see like the
we're
shows
old
that
now.
you're like, oh my gosh, can you not do this? Like the Cosby Show is like on there. Like, okay, it was, now it's not. But first time I saw the Cosby Show on like the Nickelodeon, Nick at Night, like the classics, I'm like, that's a classic now.
Yeah, like now it's classic.
Okay, now I feel really old. Thank you, but Daisy Jones, I would not have put that as historical fiction, but that's what it's labeled as.
Yeah, you're right. The 70s or 50 years ago. Yeah. I mean,
it was
The Great
a while,
Alone
but...
is also, right? The Great Alone takes place in the 70s. That's considered is that put under I think that is put under historical fiction.
I think it is. Like I said, I just always thought, like 100 years.
Like,
right. But I'm like, oh, okay. So it is classified. I mean, you're right. That was 50 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, but it just...
Yeah, like...
Well, Jill, you were also trying to make yourself sound a whole lot older today.
Poor Zac Efron. You're allowed to like him.
I was like, what do you mean?
Crazy. I know, like, he's not...
3 years old. He's older than I am. And Jill, you're not that much older.
Yeah.
Big sister. You're not even old enough to be my mom, so...
Oh, I like that, Donna. It's fiction rooted in the time and place. This could not take place today. I think that's right on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because like Daisy Jones definitely could take place today, and I think that's kind of why it feels weird calling it historical fiction. Is like even though it took place in the 70s, you're like, nothing about this story can't take place in contemporary times.
Yeah, I think that's why. Maybe
concerts, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
true.
Pandemic times, but yeah.
Any other time, a band that rose up from
drugs,
drugs and all that stuff, that could have happened. Maybe that's why I had a hard time. I'm like, but you're right. It's the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did, because I think that it said at the back of the book too, like in her author bio, that she's a historian, and that she works full time doing that. So, kudos to her even more. Working full time while you're publishing this best-selling novel. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they did reference. Yeah, I think you're right, Jill.
Mm-hmm.
I think just the rock and roll aspect just didn't make me think of past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Has anyone read Opal and is it Opal and Nev or Opal and Neve? I don't know.
I think
Nev.
I'm pronouncing it as Nev. And I think
Nev, but
Aubrey.
I haven't read it yet. Have it.
But haven't read it. Because we were talking about Neve from what's that cute guy from that show? Oh, from Catfish.
I am not feeling from him, Susie, but
I think he's cute.
Whatever you say. Nev like Neville.
Oh, Ned like Nev. Okay, gotcha. I wonder how similar that would be to Daisy Jones, but I probably won't read it. Oh, it's Neff with an F? Oh, his name is Neville. Okay, so Megan is correct. Okay, gotcha. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how that compares, but...
Yeah.
I've been meaning to read it. I'm going to.
I put it on hold. I did get a copy from Book of the Month, of course, but I put it on hold on Libby because I read Daisy Jones and I didn't love it because I think it's because of the documentary aspect of it. It didn't read well, but everybody was like, do the audiobook. So I did the audiobook this one and I really enjoyed it. I liked it much better.
The audio while I read it at the same time.
Okay, maybe, yeah. And so
it was a great experience.
They're comparing this one, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and listen to the audiobook for that because
that's a good idea.
Because I think if it's like Daisy Jones and it's that kind, I think it'll be a great audiobook. So I'm waiting for my hold to come in. Which I don't think it
I
actually. I
listened.
don't think it's out yet in regular bookstores.
Oh, okay.
I think it was early. Maybe it comes out tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh,
So I'm on the list whenever. So I will get to it, but I haven't yet.
can't believe tomorrow's already the 30th. Like, that's just wild.
I know.
Wild.
No. It's crazy.
Okay, Dory, you can watch the replay.
Oh yeah, Dory, we're glad you're here. Yeah. Yeah, you can watch the replay. It's gonna be posted. Yeah, I wish I had listened to Daisy Jones because I also didn't love it. And I think part of that was like it was just so hyped up that I was just like expecting to be blown away. And I just kind of like I just didn't really connect with it that much. It was entertaining though, but I should listen to it on audio. It seemed like it's meant for that.
It was much better. Like I said, because I loved all her other books, and Daisy Jones, I was just like, it's fine. But like I said, I just did the audio book this month of it, and I liked it much better.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how her Malibu Rising will do, because both of the books I've read of her were so different.
Yeah.
How will that one do?
Yeah, I've read all of hers now. I'm caught up on Taylor's, but and I enjoyed all of them, so I will definitely read that one.
You still have a book and a quarter to finish for your bracket. You got this, Amy. You can do it.
You can do it. 2 days.
You can do it. You got 2 days. Plenty of time.
I'm really hoping to try to finish Credence this month and not carry it. But we didn't realize that the chat was so far away. I thought it was this Thursday.
Friday. Yeah, it's next Friday. So you actually have plenty of time.
Yeah.
So what else do we have? What else do we have on the agenda before we sign off? We can talk about the events we got coming up.
I'm gonna post this in the group, but if you can see it, I'm getting ready to post this.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Megan.
I love the flowers.
And so for this week, so we're on prompt 13 if you're trying to do a week at a time. And then we had the Lost Apothecary tonight. Then we don't have anything else again until the 6th, where we'll just hop on and make our drink. And then the 9th, we have Credence. So we really don't have anything up until the 12th is when we'll have Lauren come and chat with us for Blue Bookmark, unless we want to add something.
Yeah. So. And the drink event and Credence are both happening in Dirty Book Club. If you're not part of that, then you're into dirty books, dark romance novels. You can join that. That's there's a link to that as our connected groups. We have fun over there. It's a much smaller group.
Yeah, we're in discussions too about doing a thriller one, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little subgroup where people can geek out over all things thriller, mystery, that type of thing.
Yeah, we're trying to add different subgroups so people can find their people.
Yeah,
find their people, find their genre.
For 10,000, it's kind of hard to have a deep conversation with so many different opinions floating around. But if you have your little subgroup of core, you can form a tight-knit community that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so lots of fun things coming up.
Yeah, hopefully the books will drop and we'll pick our book club for next month.
Yeah. Do we want to do it in April, or do you all think you need?
Yeah, we usually do it the last Monday of the month.
26th. So that's several more days that they could fit in if we wanted to do it the first Monday in May. Or we could do it. We could do it on the 30th. That's a Friday night, or whatever you all want to do.
Yeah, we also have a new member post. If you click the announcements, we have like a whole explanation of everything that goes on in the group. But basically, we're a book club that we started as fans of Book of the Month group of the Book of the Month subscription, and we still are fans and members of that. So we usually pick a Book of the Month book to talk about every month, and then we also have other books that we talk about. We schedule events. Reading challenges are our other big thing. So we always have a monthly reading challenge, new one every month. That's always posted in the announcements. And then we have our year-long challenge. That's also in the pretty much all the information about our group is in the announcements. And we also have guides. If you click on guides in the group, that has some good info in there too. Welcome. We're glad you're here.
The reading challenges is definitely kind of what grew us as a group, really focusing on the different ones every month that helped us grow quite a bit. And I think so many people were missing having an actual book club, especially in quarantine, and us picking a book to all read together. I love that.
Yep, me too.
Oh, and we also have our author events. So
yes,
yeah, for Lauren.
Join us, and that's really fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they challenge 4 books. You can also do more than one if you have more than one basket. We try to make it accessible, and we try to make all of our challenges easily, like they can be modified for different types of readers. And
yeah, and even if you don't get 4, that's fine. Post
yeah.
however many you do. If you get 1, 2, 3, whatever, go ahead, fill out your basket and post it anyway. Don't feel like you failed because
you have to. Yeah.
Life.
It's all for fun. It's all for fun.
Yeah. If I didn't
it's not competitive.
Right. I only read this much because like I treat this as like my full-time job. So that's but if I didn't, 4 books is a lot if, you know.
Yeah, it's a book a week.
Yeah.
That's serious reading.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
You only joined in January, Dory? I feel like you've been in the group longer. I can't believe that. I feel like you've been here forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have picked some good ones.
Yeah, and I hope April brings us some more good ones. So
I know.
I can't wait.
Yay. I did read that one that month.
What'd you say?
I said I did read that book the month I get it.
Yeah.
That's why they need to be in the month. So I at least can knock off one of my choices. I'm bad about buying them and letting them just sit on myself. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on like getting 1 book next month. That's what I'm gonna do. Just 1. I know that was
brave girl. Brave
I'm hoping
girl.
to get 8 books. They better come out.
You're gonna get 8 books.
Well, I mean, I have some credits, and I referred myself the other day. So there's 2 on that one, and then I've got my main book. I have 3 credits that I can use, and then I have another credit because I've been rolling it over. So if they suck, I'll roll the 2 accounts over again. But I have spots for 8, so I would love to be able to fill them.
Oh yeah. Well, any old choices, I can tell you if they're open or not.
Well, I do have the Library of Legends in my cart. I have What's Mine and Yours in my cart. And I think I have Things in Jars in my cart. Should those be library picks?
I would say yes.
Just move on.
Things in Jars, it's like historical mystery, but weird. I didn't really care for that one. What's Mine and Yours was fine. I was kind of mad about that one. Yeah. But Libraries of Legends is good.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Am gonna pick that one up.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people have liked What's Mine and Yours. It was fine. It's not the best review, but it's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine. It's all right. I didn't hate it, but yeah, Jill said she loved Things in Jars, so I would read the synopsis, and if that sounds good. I think might have been in the minority about that one. I just thought it was weird. It was hard to follow, but it is set in London, like a mystery, but she investigates some weird stuff happening.
Like good weird?
Like weird.
Just like this is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So, but read it, and then you can tell me if you liked it.
I think I do.
I still have 24 book of the months that I've bought and haven't read, so I'm gonna get through those before, and that's why I'm just sticking to my one book because I really
I
mean, I'm just reading my Kindle so much that it's like.
Yeah, you've gone down the rabbit hole.
I'm on my own path now, so I'm like,
I know.
just reading one book of the month a week is like,
yeah,
that's what I'm just trying to get through.
I've
I know
only
you
read
guys
this month.
fine, but you're chats. But I'm like, I don't want to go down that well, and got tons of books here I want to read before I go down that path. Because I'm obsessive. Once I get to something, then I would just collect and collect.
Yeah. I know. I get.
But I probably will write. I'll probably read Credence with you guys this time.
Oh, yay!
Well, I started the first 2 chapters, and I was like, there is actually depth. There's a story here. Like, I think this sounds really interesting.
Oh, I think she's a great writer. I mean, I love her books.
So far, I'm very impressed.
How do we know each other? We met on Facebook. Okay, so I joined this group when it was like really, really small, and like Megan was the admin, and I don't know, we just like kind of became friends. We became friendly through there.
We started chatting because there was a crazy girl, and you had caught some comments, and you messaged me and was like, "Hey, heads up!" And then ever since then, we just kind of chatted, and I actually met Sarah from the swap group, and I bought Unsheltered from you. Like,
oh, you did?
A long time ago. And then
I didn't know that.
I don't know if this was before or after you joined the other group, but then I was like, oh wait, I know that girl. And then it just kind of
they put an ad for another admin, so I was like, oh, I love this group. I'll apply.
And then
there we go. But no, we've never met in real life.
Admin, so added her, and then we added Sarah, and it's just been such a great.
I mean, I've been in this group for a while. I don't know exactly how long, but I've only been admin for
early 2019. Somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, we took over. This team has been running this group since August. Right?
I know it was warm outside.
Summer. It's been since like summer.
Yeah, it's pretty magical. We just have like a great. It's just like, I don't know. Like it's so cool how. Yeah, and like we just work together so well. Like we collaborate. Like we came up with that Easter egg challenge in like literally 10 minutes.
Right.
Right? Like it went from being a like half developed idea to like fully developed in 5 to 10 minutes. And that's just together.
It's bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's so cute.
Yeah, we need to start talking about our May challenge.
I know, we got planning to do.
Yeah, we got some planning to do. So I hear my husband knocking around in there, so I think he's home.
Yeah. It's getting late over here on the East Coast. I'm usually on Mountain Time, so. All right, ladies. Well, I'll see you next week, and I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Yeah, bye.
Appreciate it very much.
Glad you could make it.
Yeah.